superpowered individuals. But how much of that is really true? I mean, having superpowers does sound kind of nice. Hi, I'm Colette, and today I'll be talking about the world of hackers and cybersecurity and my multi-step plan to take over the world. So, what is cybersecurity? Cybersecurity is an unseen force behind the stability of our nation and the international landscape. It redefines power between parties and is only growing as an industry. Put simply, cybersecurity is defending and protecting computer networks, programs, and systems against attacks from hackers. The object is information. Hackers can try to destroy important information, or code or steal sensitive data, such as credit card numbers. It may seem like a small industry, but in 2018 alone, hackers stole approximately 500 million personal records, and about $6 trillion are expected to be spent on cybersecurity by 2021. Cybersecurity is something that affects us all, and it is only growing. Typical hacker. Hackers can come in all types, but they often aren't working alone. There are two main categories of hackers. Ethical hackers work with cybersecurity companies to protect systems, while unethical workers work to control and destroy them. Many times, unethical hackers are simply employees, paid by someone who wants to get a job done. Other times, hackers hack to make a point about the flaws of a system or argue a political or humanitarian point. This is called hacktivism. For example, a popular site for married people to practice infidelity was hacked, exposing the login information and inappropriate messages and pictures of 32 million users on October 2015. That's what they saw on their computer when they got into work. Hackers often have to pose as other people with believable stories, both online and in person. For example, a hacker might first connect with someone through social media, using information about them found online to back up their story. They might even walk into a company, masquerading as a client or other interested party as a way to gain access to general company technology, like a printer or an unattended computer. Regardless, whether they talk to someone in person or send a company email from your boss, they have to seem believable, exploiting human error somewhere in the hacking process. So, if I'm going to enter the world of hackers, I'm going to need some role models. So I found two. David Pecora, first guy up there. Pecora, a Canadian high school student, first exploited an Xbox weakness called J-tagging, selling superpowers to competitive gamers and making as much as $8,000 per day. Through a connection with 14-year-old hacker Dylan Wheeler in Australia, second guy, who had hacked into the account of an IT employee at Epic Games, Pecora hacked into the company network, downloading hundreds of gigabytes of software, including a pre-release of a new game. After they released the game online, the FBI became involved, but could not locate the hackers. Through poorly secured tunnels, the team, which now included 2 American school-age children, one of which is up there, gained access to dozens of games from connected companies before the release, selling them online. One step further, they discovered plane simulations from the Pentagon and began counterfeiting the next unreleased Xbox for Microsoft. Wheeler even sold the device on eBay, garnering media attention and notoriety. The team began to split up, and one by leaving behind their digital fingerprint or by other team members informing the FBI of their identity, the members of the Xbox Underground were rounded up and put into prison. Security princess. Women are often underrepresented in the world of hacking and cybersecurity, making up about 20% of hackers. The Polish-Iranian-American 31-year-old hacker, Parisa Tabriz, however, is a leading hacker figure in the cybersecurity community, heading Google's team of experts that look for weaknesses in Google systems and inform the company. Named one of the top 30 under 30 by Forbes in 2012, Tabriz models hacking for good, fixing over 700 bugs in Google by 2014. Cyber breach types. Now that I have role models, I'm going to have to learn some hacker moves so that I can keep up my game on the dark web. Here's some of the classes. Phishing. Phishing is sending fraudulent emails and claiming they're from a trustworthy source, usually to steal credit card information and login passwords. Ransomware. Ransomware is software on a computer that blocks files or systems until go to the bathroom that she can't start a lesson. Viruses. Viruses are programs that infect a computer through an external source such infected advertisement duplicating rapidly on the machine. Worms can also travel between any computers connected to the same network. So, if someone here has an infected computer, the virus could spread to every computer on the BYOD network without any of us interacting with it or possibly ever finding out. SIM swap attacks. SIM swap attacks occur in the verification step of an authentication process when someone verifies their account through a text. For example, when you first create an account on social media. In this process, a hacker steals the actual SIM code for a phone, gaining access to all of their cell phone data. This can also refer more generally to stealing phone data from the SIM card. For example, Jeff Bezos, the unofficial Mr. Worldwide, recently had information and phone data stolen simply by exchanging WhatsApp contacts with this Saudi prince who visited for dinner. So, how does it affect us today? Now, I'm not just a superhero, guys. I'm an American citizen and a citizen of the world. Hacking affects us too. It affects all of us in more ways than we realize. Government election hacking. Government systems are often the targets of military hacking. It's often more subtle, like exploiting user data into personalized propaganda. For example, hackers can use stolen data to target specific users in political campaigns, like in the Facebook Cambridge Analytica scandal in 2016. Health systems hacking. Over 75% of healthcare organizations have been hacked in 2019 alone, and over 93% of organizations have been hacked since 2016. Hospitals are largely uneducated in terms of what cybersecurity methods to enact and which programs to use. Terrorists often use healthcare as a target when hacking into a country's systems. Not only does this expose millions of sensitive patient records, but it also leaves life-saving machines vulnerable to attack. This is used both as a form of terrorism and a way to get money, as medical records can be worth anywhere from $30 to $500 each, where single credit card numbers are only sold for 10 to 15 cents. Bank business infrastructure hacking. Regardless of your personal feelings towards companies like Comcast, it is undeniable that internet providers and internet-driven companies are essential to American life. These companies are constantly bombarded with hacks daily, requiring large teams to manage attacks from individuals, groups, and countries aiming to damage the US. Additionally, infrastructure such as traffic lights, water systems, and power grids can be hacked to purposefully create accidents. In the WannaCry hack of 2017, the North Korean hacker compromised 230,000 computers using a worm, which entered the computer through an exposed SMB port and quickly spread to all other users on the company network with no user interaction whatsoever. This ransomware attack demanded $300 of Bitcoin for each computer. After the attack, the hackers made off with $140,000, leaving WannaCry data largely unrecoverable. So, how do companies protect against hackers? If I'm going to get to be an ethical hacker, I have to know who I'm working with. And if I'm going to be unethical, I got to know my enemy. So, how do cybersecurity teams work? Companies break into teams of ethical hackers on the red team or defenders on the blue team. A third purple team coordinates the game-like operation, where the red team attempts to worm its way into its own company machines, and the blue team writes software to defend against red methods. It can sometimes take years to fix the holes the red team finds. Then the company will release a patch in the form of a software update, which installs software to protect against the vulnerabilities found in the simulation. Sometimes a company is attacked in a vulnerable area. In order to protect data, companies must have backups of their systems stored remotely, so that backup can be done in the event of attack. A forensic team tracks hackers' digital fingerprints and track them down, sometimes in person, with the help of the FBI. Companies also set traps called honeypots to lure potential hackers towards enticing data, such as credit cards and financial information, by making them supposedly easily reached in their code. Within this honeypot, software is implemented so that any hacker to be apprehended. So, how can you protect against hackers? Whenever you can, use some sort of fingerprint or facial recognition to secure your data. And don't share passwords between sites. Why? Whenever you use an unsecured network, like the Wi-Fi at Starbucks or other coffee shops, your computer is open to hackers nearby, who, if they want, can see a record of all your communications and conversations, including everything you put into unencrypted websites, such as the Haverford School Store, college pages such as NYU, Rutgers, Boston University, MIT, UCLA, and many more. Also, if you get a slightly suspicious email, especially with a link, don't click on it. Always install the next software update on your computer or phone. They are patches based on real vulnerabilities, and without them, your computer is likely to be hacked if it is attacked. Don't use sketchy websites like 123 Movies, and use caution when signing up for something online. Install a reliable antivirus software, and really, use your common sense when using the internet. After all, anyone could be out there to steal your data, and who knows, it might even be me.